From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the daily news for February 13th, 2026. These are the stories we are covering at this hour. New York politicians defiantly raised a rainbow flag Thursday at the Stonewall National Monument amid a boisterous cheering crowd rebuking the Trump administration for removing the well-known symbol of pride from the LGBTQ+ landmark. "We did it," said Manhattan Borough President Brad Hoylman-Siegel, after helping raise the flag near an existing American flag in a tiny Greenwich Village park, jammed with more than 100 people. Many onlookers chanted, "Raise it up." If you can't fly a pride flag, steps from Stonewall Monument at the National Monument for LGBTQ Liberation, where can you fly it? Said Hoylman-Siegel, a Democrat who is the first openly gay person elected to his job. So we put it back. Until a few days ago, the flag had flown for several years on a flagpole in the park at the heart of the National Park Service-run site. The park is across the street from the Stonewall Inn, the gay bar where a 1969 police raid sparked an uprising and helped catalyze the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Turning to other news, the Environmental Protection Agency on Thursday revoked its own 2009 endangerment finding, a scientific conclusion that for 16 years has been the central basis for regulating planet warming emissions from power plants, vehicles, and other sources. The finding itself is straightforward. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases caused by burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas endanger public health and welfare. It was adopted after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 2007 that greenhouse gases are air pollutants that can be regulated under the Clean Air Act. The Trump administration says the finding hurts industry and the economy, and that the Obama and Biden administrations twisted science to determine that greenhouse gases are a public health risk. Like Trump gives a shit. He's going to be dead in 10 years anyway, but the rest of us have to keep breathing the air. Good Lord, people. Since taking effect in 2010 during President Barack Obama's first term, the endangerment finding has been the legal underpinning for new regulations targeting emissions from vehicles, oil and gas facilities, and large industries, including power plants. The EPA also determined that greenhouse gas emissions from some aircraft endanger health and welfare, setting the stage for future regulations. Well, under President Donald Trump, the Department of Energy has suggested that climate models used by scientists to predict warming have overreached, that long-term trends for disasters generally don't show much change, and that climate has little impact on the economy. Remember, this is the same government that gave us RFK in charge of the Department of Health and Human Services. If I don't trust RFK Jr. to give out vaccines for measles, I certainly don't trust the Department of Energy to be in charge of much of anything. Moving on. Climate scientists warn that overturning the endangerment finding undermines decades of scientific progress and damages the credibility of U.S. institutions tasked with protecting the environment. Sure it does. More importantly, scientists say rising global temperatures, the hottest years on record, have all occurred since 2009, causing more extreme weather that endangers people and causes billions of dollars in damage from more frequent and severe heat waves, wildfires, droughts, and catastrophic flooding, not to mention tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards, the list goes on. In other words, from more intense storms. The EPA action repeals all greenhouse gas emission standards for cars and trucks, but experts say it could be a trigger for a broader undoing of climate regulations for stationary sources such as power plants and oil and gas facilities. It also could prevent future administrations from proposing rules to address global warming because they would have to restart the scientific and legal process to establish a new endangerment finding, which could take years and face legal challenges thanks to the ding-dongs over in, the people that want to kill humanity. That would be the right wing. Anyway, that is according to David Doniger, a climate expert at the Natural Resources Defense Council. Environmental groups are sure to challenge the revocation in court. That's news at this hour. Folks, the U.S. is having a tourism motto contest, and this is what we like so far. Visit America. Come for the smog. Stay 'cause you're dead. Huh? Yeah. Come to America. Breathe deeply, but don't plan on exhaling. Eh? America, where we like our air like our water. Sludgy! PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.